Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Friday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, as we all know, the Los Angeles Lakers are in action yesterday, taking on none other than the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. And we knew it would be a pivotal game. And we know thus far in the playoffs this year that the Lakers have stolen at least one game on home court in the first two games of each of the first two opening rounds. And that is what they looked to do on yesterday. And that is something that I thought that they would do. And for the most of the game, it seems like they were in control. But although they were not in control by much, and even as they were up by 10, I want to say in the third quarter, I still wasn't quite comfortable because we know Denver has firepower, something like the Golden State Warriors, but they seem to run a bit more of a crisp offense. But at the end of the day, I still feel like the Lakers are not completely out of it. I know a lot of people are writing them off, and I know winning 4 out of the next 5 is something that's not the easiest to do. But one thing that I do want to take note of is, and I know a lot of you probably heard by now and probably already know this statistic, but I will say in regards to this statistic that it doesn't necessarily mean anything because that was a young LeBron James, and this here is a little bit of an older, little bit limping LeBron James, so it may not make as much difference. But we know in playoff series before what the record are of other teams. It's only been done, I think, 8 or 9 times in which a team was down 0-2 and came back and won a series in the Western Conference or Eastern Conference Finals or semifinals. It's been done in the first round a couple of times, more than that. I have to look up the statistic. Maybe we'll go over that on next show. But one of those times was LeBron when he was down 2-0 against Detroit, I think in 2008. And then the other time was, of course, when he was down 2-0 to the Boston Celtics, if I'm not mistaken, or it could have been the Raptors. But either way, he was on one of those teams. So if you have faith in anybody to be able to rally the troops, because this is something that he won't be able to do on his own. Now, we did see in the last series when Denver went back to Phoenix, they dropped those 2 games, even without Chris Paul. But what did they do? Then when they got back home, they took care of business and then ultimately finished it in game 6 on the road, because at that time they said, you know what, we got all the confidence in the world. We're not even going back home. So can the Denver Nuggets give up 2 games to LA in Los Angeles? Well, one thing that we know for sure is that the Lakers are undefeated at home this season. And if you look at it, the Lakers are winning these games by an average of +16, which is really good. And that's going up against the 2nd seeded Memphis and the 5th seed Golden State. Both are very good teams. And we do see that this Denver team is on a mission. They are the #1 seed for a reason, and they've been playing relatively well all year. But what I will say is, in game 1, we saw that the Lakers just came out and got punched in the mouth. They simply were not ready. I sort of predicted that they would still be coasting off of the high of winning on that Golden State series, and that Denver would come in with all the momentum, and plus trying to adapt to that high elevation would be tough, especially in the first game. And that's exactly what happened. And then, as you can see in the second game, the Lakers played with more desperation. However, they still lost. Now, in the other games where the Lakers played with desperation, they came out on the winning side. Just like in Memphis, they played hard in game 1. They didn't play so hard in game 2. Then game 3 and 4, they took care of business, even though it went down to the wire in game 4. That followed the same pattern against Golden State. And in this series, they didn't come out with the same drive, I would say, and eagerness to get back down court, especially in transition. If the Lakers just cleaned up a few things, they easily could have won that game on yesterday. There's a lot of points that they left off the board. You got the LeBron when he lost the dunk, and don't get me started on that, because everybody went to Twitter and everybody want to say Jordan would never do that, but we've already found a clip of Michael Jordan doing the exact same thing against the Lakers. Breakaway dunk, nobody even in the front court with him at all, and he fumbles it out of bounds. So it does happen to the best of them. They want to blame it on age. I think LeBron shouldn't even try to be fancy. He should have just went up and laid it in. But I think he was trying to send a statement with that dunk. It just didn't work out. And sometimes those things happen. He had another layup where he was really short at the rim on a breakaway. And then, of course, we know the layup closer to the end of the game. He thought he was going to get contact. The contact didn't really happen. and he was expecting that contact. And I don't know, any of you hoopers out there, sometimes you expect that and then you don't get it. It's kind of like when they pull the chair underneath you and you can fall. So, shouts out to the Denver Nuggets for making adjustments, because they did make adjustments. But the main adjustment that I see that the Lakers have made was with Rui Hachimura. He continued to play well yesterday, and I think the Lakers really played good defense on Joker, because if you look at Joker, by my account, Joker has not scored at all other than a few free throws. I think 4 free throws in the fourth quarter of both of the games. So Jokić has not scored at all in the fourth quarter of the past 2 games. So the Lakers are figuring them out throughout the game. And if you look at, if you really look at Jokic's statistics on yesterday, it's not anything that just really stood out. If you look at his points, let's see. Jokić played 42 minutes, had 23 points. He did get the triple-double. 17 rebounds is big. That's something that the Lakers need to clean up, because the offensive board, I think, is something that, that they're really lacking on, because, again, the Denver Nuggets had 8 more attempts than they did on yesterday. They offensive rebounded them, I think, 11-4. But the main thing that really killed them was, of course, Jamal Murray getting hot in the fourth quarter. And he's proven that he's that guy. And it's something interesting that I don't know if y'all know, but I found this today doing some of my research for today's show. Jamal Murray, 4 times in the playoffs has he scored 20 or more points in the fourth quarter. Do y'all know that's only been done by 2 other people in the whole history of basketball? So that's something that Jamal Murray has done that no other player has done. Only 2 other players have done in the entire history of basketball. Can you guess who it was? Put it in the comments. Ding, 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 ding. You already knew. Michael Jordan being one of them. He did it twice in the playoffs. And the other being, you thought I was going to say LeBron, but no, Allen Iverson was the only other player to do that. So, I mean, that's a lot of playoff games throughout the course of history. And only had 3 people ever have multiple 20-point fourth quarters is something that is amazing. So, going back to what I was saying about the game, though, I mean, they just let Jamal Murray go off in the fourth quarter. A lot of those were contested per LeBron. He said that in the presser on yesterday, which I think they got a hand in his face. But I think the Lakers need to make the adjustment. Go back to how they played them in the bubble. Either you have Rui, LeBron, and AD all playing in the high post, all playing in the high post on defense. If they're all playing in the high post on defense, then they can just switch. And if you look at it in the series, another thing that I saw was it's only been 30 minutes that LeBron, Rui, and Anthony Davis have played in the series all on the floor at one time. And if you look at it per 100 possessions, they are plus 11, and they're holding the defense to 93 per 100 possessions, which is amazing considering that Denver is one of the #1 offenses in the NBA. So I don't understand why Darvin Ham, everybody said that they was going to start Rui Hachimura, but instead of him coming out to start Rui Hachimura, instead he starts Vanderbilt. And his answer to that question in the presser was, well, that was our lineup before I went to the 3-guard lineup of DAngelo Russell, Austin Reeves, and Dennis Schroeder. And okay, we understand you went back to the starting lineup, but if you found something and you saw it was working, then why didn't you stick with that for most of the entirety of the game when, you actually didn't? Because if you look, let's see, if you take a look at Rui Hachimura's numbers, if you look at the minutes that Rui Hachimura played, let's see, he played only 30 minutes. He needs to be getting starting minutes, because when he's out there, he's a plus, and he is really beneficial because he can actually switch on the pick and roll. So what Denver has liked to do, if you notice, to get Jamal Murray free is that dribble kind of handoff. Instead of running more pick and roll action, they doing the dribble handoff to where they hand it off right on over to Jamal, and Jokić sets that good screen. They need to put LeBron James on Jamal Murray. That way he can chase him over the screen and not let him get comfortable. Or he could just switch, because if you switch, LeBron is capable of handling Jokić, as you saw yesterday. Not saying you want to get into a habit of it, but LeBron James did a damn good job of guarding Jokić yesterday. And through 3/4 of the game on yesterday, LeBron James was looking like the best player, even though everybody wanted to give him hell. But I mean, by the time he got to the fourth quarter, he played 40 minutes a game, been playing a day on, a day off in that elevation. Yes, it got up to him. Yes, he shot a 3 when he shouldn't have. Austin Reeves was open. on one of those plays, and people, well, why didn't you get it to Austin? Well, y'all the same people who say, well, why is he passing? I mean, there's only, a minute or so left in the game. They down by 3. He had a shot. He thought he could make it. He thought he had a good look. It didn't fall. It is what it is. But I'm telling y'all right now, this series is far from over, because I'm telling you, all the Lakers got to do is win one game, get their confidence back, let the crowd show up and go crazy down on Figueroa Street, downtown at the Crypto.com arena, and you shall see the tide will turn. I don't want to see Malik Beasley or, maybe Troy Brown could come in, because I don't know, DAngelo Russell has not been playing well. Speaking of DAngelo Russell, maybe give him a shot for a few minutes at home, but if he's not playing well, pull the plug on him quick, because if you look at DAngelo Russell, he was a minus again, minus 16 for the game. He only shot he had 10 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, but only 3 out of 8, 38%. So if you look at the first 2 games in this series, D'Lo is a minus 41. Do y'all know that D'Lo is a minus 41 in these 2 games? Hell, that's a lot, y'all. Minus 41. Guess what he is? Guess what the Lakers are without him being in the lineup? I'm telling y'all, men lie, women lie, and numbers don't lie. Plus 37 without DAngelo Russell. So if you got plus 37 without him, this might be the series where you need to just play a little bit more Vanderbilt, a little bit more Schroeder. Maybe even give Troy Brown some of that. I know he ain't had action in a while. Maybe he can come out and prove himself, because one thing Troy Brown damn sure not going to be lacking on is his ability to play defense. He's going to get grindy and get grimy with you. You understand me? He's going to attack the boards. You understand me? And he might start back hitting threes. He had a bad spell for a couple of rounds. Maybe he was in a slump. Who knows? But maybe he like Lonnie Walker. He stayed ready. So who knows? Hopefully he has that same preparation. Lonnie Walker, who's been showing promise in the past series and stepped up, has started to begin the minutes now, because I know they said he earned them. But, so what have you done for me lately, league, when it comes to the bench? And, I'm not losing faith in Lonnie Walker, but he needs to play a little bit better on the offensive side of the ball if you're going to be out there. But back to that DAngelo Russell thing, man, minus 41. Minus 41 without D'Lo and plus 37 without him. That is crazy. That is crazy. And speaking of D'Lo, I did want to bring up that flagrant foul. That was an atrocious call. And the Lakers ultimately losing by 5. If you think about it like this, the LeBron dunk fiasco that went out of bounds, the LeBron missed layup for the front, and then the other missed layup at the end. That's 6 of the points right there. You talking about a victory. Then you talking about the flagrant foul that you gave them two points in the ball back on, to me, was clearly not a flagrant foul. That just made absolutely no sense to me. He was going for the ball, but it is what it is. If that's the case, then you could add a flagrant foul when they blasted Austin Reeves in his head a couple of times during the game. But the main thing that the Lakers need to do is build a wall and get a body on a body in transition, because they cannot continue to give the Denver Nuggets transition points. And the thing about it is, in the half-court set, the Lakers playing great defense. They held them to a 49-point first half and really would have held them to lower, but Jamal Murray went ham in the fourth quarter. And what I don't understand is, why not start blitzing him like you would do with Steph Curry? Make somebody else beat you. If Michael Porter Jr., and I know I was saying Otto Porter the other day, man, I ain't even had a chance to respond to all my comments, so forgive me, everybody. Man, y'all don't even know. And the only reason I'm coming to y'all late with this video right now, man, is I had some vehicle issues. Your boy was stranded, man. I had to get AAA involved and get myself together, man. And I really didn't even get to watch the game live. Y'all had to record it. I told my fam, I told my wife, I said, listen, y'all, please don't tell me the game. I don't want to know no updates. You understand me? I just want to watch it when I get home. And when I finally made it to the house, y'all, and was able to watch the game, do you know how late it was? Man, so your boy didn't get much sleep. And then on top of that, the Lakers lost, so I wasn't in no good mood this morning. I didn't have a lot of sleep. And then your boy was very busy. It wasn't an off day for me. So until y'all get me up to about 100,000 subscribers, I got to keep going to work to earn a check. You understand me? But I do appreciate my YouTube family who joins in with me faithfully. And for those of you who is this y'all first time joining me, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, man. We do it all. And for those of you, that's why for those of you who asked, that I just saw in the comments just a few minutes ago before I hopped on, that's why I couldn't go live on yesterday, man. I didn't even get to see the game live. So I would have been a real disservice to everybody, man. But back to what I was saying, I'm looking at some of my notes from what I really observed was the LeBron James, Hachimura, and AD combination. If you giving LeBron and AD 40 minutes, Hachimura need to have them same 40 minutes too. That way he can get going, man. He had a spectacular first half, 7 out of 7. He got it going. If you look at his stats, he played really well, 21 points. And if you look at the Lakers all together, LeBron had 22, AD had 18, Reeves had 22, Hachimura had 21. You had five players in double figures in scoring. So, the Lakers probably could have won that game, and it came down close. But look, Lonnie Walker gave you 13 minutes, only had 2 points. That's not going to cut it. And then you look at DAngelo Russell, like I said, that minus 16. At this point, I don't want to take all his confidence, but y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Either in the Memphis series, I think he got the plug pulled on him for the whole second half of a game against Memphis, and he came out and played better at home. Maybe he can get it cooking at home, but I'm going to tell y'all something. That's what role players do. Role players play good at home and maybe not show up on the road. You're supposed to be they try to give you the keys to the franchise to be a starting point guard. I'm starting to think, hey, if Kyrie can take a little pay cut, then that might be what the Lakers need, because last night LeBron James carried that heavy load for 3 quarters. And then when it came down to the fourth quarter, I think he did settle because he simply didn't have the legs. And you could tell that same foot that bothered him, he landed on Anthony Davis' foot. He just kept doing that and have to retie that shoe, man. And that's something you see LeBron James do over the years. It's like, a superhero, man, like an alien or something. He break that ankle, turn that ankle, and he just tie that shoe up and he keep pushing. It's just crazy to watch, man, this deep in the playoffs. I don't really remember, and I've been watching the NBA for a long time, but normally when they transition from the home to away arena, you get more than a day on, day off. I know they've been doing that the past couple of years, but I don't necessarily know if I like that, because in the postseason, and I'm not making excuses for LeBron or anybody else, because like LeBron said last night, everybody is tired, but in the postseason, you want to see everybody at their healthiest. And everybody at their best. And then you have top quality basketball, but at the end of the day on, day off is going to favor the youngsters more than it's going to affect the old timers. But man, I would be remiss to say this. I done got all the way damn near to the end of the video, y'all. And I just forgot to focus on the bad player, Anthony Davis, because, I brought up LeBron James, the little, things that he did that didn't go his way last night, and everybody want to give him hell. And then, of course, D'Lo just talked about his bad performance. But let's talk about Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis, although he had 18 points, that was an ugly 18 points. Half of the points, 9 of them was from the free throw line, 9 of 11. You understand me? So, he shot 4 out of 15, a poor, meager 27% from the field. Man, that is terrible and not going to get it done. Let's just say Anthony Davis was 4 out of 15. They lost by 6. Let's say Anthony Davis would have just made 5 more of his shots. That's 10 points. That's 10 points. So do y'all think that that's going to happen at home? Anthony Davis is up, down. He gave you 40 the first game. So I'm telling y'all, the Lakers going to win game 3. I think they can win it going away. I do think Denver's going to come in focused. Mike Malone does have them boys coached up, and he playing a great mental game with them, telling them how much of the underdogs they are to the Lakers, and they falling for it. And, they buying into it, and they playing hard like that. But, man, I just still might think Lakers in 6, y'all. I think the Lakers can win 4 games in a row. The game yesterday was close. It's not like it's a blowout, so don't hold your head down. I remember, who was it, a few years ago, that great San Antonio team, when they was really good, maybe 2012, 2013, but then when OKC was coming up and them young guys was coming, gunning, running, you understand me? And when it was Westbrook and Harden and them, and they went down 2-0 to the Spurs, and the Spurs was looking like, hey, they that team. And next thing you know, I think OKC ratted out 4 in a row, like bam, bam, bam. So all the Lakers got to do is win 2. They get the confidence back. They can go on the road and say, you know what? We not coming back for game 7. We got to win this one. Then they win that one. They come home and take care of business. 4 in a row. Matter of fact, that's about to be the motto, y'all. Throw it up in the air. Throw it up, throw it up. Watch it all fall out. 4 in a row for the Lakers. Add it to the score. And I'm telling y'all right now, I know a lot of people think the Lakers going to win going away. I think the Denver Nuggets going to be right there, but I think the Lakers crowd is going to pull them through. I think the Lakers get out to a big lead. I think Denver catches back up with them, makes it a little bit closer in the fourth quarter than what you would like. But ultimately, the Lakers win by at least 9 to 10 points. And then you have game 4 on Monday night, I believe. And then if the Lakers can go ahead and win that, then we'll make a series out of it. All the old schools used to say, It's not a series until somebody steal a game on the home court. So Denver did what they supposed to do at home. You know, and I'm not one for cliches and building this, but I'm just telling the truth. The Lakers just got to do what Denver just did, and all they got to do is steal one on the road. They didn't get to get one of the first two, which would have been nice to get one of the first two and have it 1-1, but it is what it is at this point. Lakers just got to continue to make adjustments. You know Mike Malone going to make adjustments. He's been doing great at that. I think the Lakers have solved some things on Jokić, though, because he's just not looking as great as he did in the first game. He still ultimately had the triple-double on yesterday, but you could tell he was bothered by the different defenses that the Lakers were throwing at him, putting LeBron James on him at times, playing AD on him straight up at times, putting Rui on him, so you're just throwing a lot of different looks on him, bringing a double team from the strong side versus the weak, and, you know, I think the Lakers are on to something. And if they can contain him, really, it's a two-headed monster. So the Lakers, I think, actually are more deep as a team. They just need to get their confidence back. And a lot of times, you know, at the end of the game, you know, when it's crunch time, they look to their leaders, and LeBron James was just too tired, and Anthony Davis, for whatever reason, just didn't have it. Maybe guarding Jokić too much and being in that high altitude got too much for his legs, but they better go soak in the Epsom bath and rub themselves down in some black seed oil and get their ass ready for tomorrow night. So, y'all, forbidding any unforeseen circumstances, I will be tomorrow coming live right after the game. So, as always, man, it's been your boy B New. I'm saying right on to the real, and much love to these haters. I'm out.